I'll never get tired of seeing that. Boy, LEGO seems bigger than ever these days, huh? They got this sweet movie, all these awesome themes, and video games! Lots and lots of video games! Are any of them all that great, though? Let's take a peek. LEGO's first foray into the world of gaming was very different than the endless LEGO Star Wars clones you see nowadays. I mean, yeah, the formula obviously works very well for them since they keep using it, but back in the day, they were all over the place. They didn't know what to do. There's a game called LEGO Chess. Can you imagine seeing something so underwhelming on store shelves in this day and age? The earliest LEGO game I can think of is LEGO Island. I've never even played this game, though I did play the sequel, which I'll get to later. Seeing what this game is like, though, I don't think I'm missing out.
I'm the pizza delivery dude, the dude with the food!
You can just taste the 90s. This game is not aged well at all, in terms of graphics or just how it works. Everyone's always spazzing out like they have problems. The cops are about as focused as a goldfish, your character is dyslexic, and hardly anyone can think straight, let alone hold themselves together for 5 seconds. Did he just crush that guy with his bike? Oh no, this is giving me flashbacks to the South Park game. You basically just run around building things or watching other people build them when they aren't exploding. Stop moving! It's one of those cool games. It's trying to be all hip and radical with the kids, but ends up being pretty silly. It's also a short game, and the LEGO Island itself is pretty small. There's just not a lot going on. I mean, technically speaking, it's fine. It doesn't look terribly glitchy or whatever. It's just really bizarre. Would I recommend trying it just to get some laughs out of it? Maybe. Good luck finding a copy though. I'd sooner just watch someone else play it on YouTube. Which I did. After that, LEGO started branching out. They made a bunch of these creator games where you build stuff in some kind of primitive LEGO simulator. Pretty cool idea for the time, and it sounds like the most apt sort of game LEGO could ever possibly make. They even made a couple of these games for Harry Potter, which had gotta be like the earliest licensed LEGO games ever, at least to my knowledge. Probably the biggest of all of these is a LEGO Land game, a tycoon simulator. Man, these graphics haven't aged well at all. This doesn't look anything like the real Legoland. You've also got your oddballs like this railroad simulator thing. It's not as exciting as it looks. At the end of the 90s, it really started to find their groove with games like LEGO Island 2 and others that were released around the time. LEGO Island 2 is bigger and better than the first, with a lot more polish in just about every respect you could think of. I'm not just talking about things like the graphics and the music, it feels like LEGO's first real game, you know? If there is any one game you can point to and say, "That's it! That's a LEGO game! That is the LEGO game!" For a lot of folks, it's this one, and it's not hard to see why. It's still not a great game by any stretch, but it has its charm. My favorite thing about it is how it celebrates various LEGO themes like knights, adventures, space, and the like. While there's still a lot of running around, it's mainly a collection of minigames. Most of them are kinda meh, but some of them are really cool. One moment you're on a T-Rex, and the next you're skydiving. In space. It isn't much longer than the first game, but there's more fun to be had. There's just a lot more going on than last time. Unfortunately for me, I spent most of my time with this game staring at this. This game's alright. It's not the first of these minigame marathons though. Some of the earlier ones, like this Rock Raiders game, are pretty interesting. One of the more involving ones is the Alpha Team game. From what I can gather, it's a sort of puzzle game where you work your way through traps and whatnot to get deeper into the enemy's base. It's something. The last of these was a third LEGO Island game. Like the second, it's another collection of minigames, but these are mostly centered around pulling off extreme stunts for the camera because you're making a movie or some, I don't know. It's another LEGO game, and a decent send-off to the old school LEGO games I've played like this. The games that really stand out to me though, are the racing games. The first one showcases a lot of super old LEGO themes like Ice Planet 2002 and pirates. that it's cool to see the environments created around them. You can customize your character and build your car from the ground up to make it look however you want, given the pieces of the time anyway. On the way, you can collect multiple items, and depending on the color combinations, you can make a shield and remove obstacles to open new paths, go so fast that you start flying and instantly warp to another part of the track. It's fast-paced, the music is peppy, if a bit annoying, and hey, it's what you'd expect out of a LEGO racing game. A lot of people regard this one as the best, but we'll get to that. At some point there was this weird drum racers game, complete with uninspired environments, forgettable music, and the most lifelike minifigs I've ever seen. This one must be from an upcoming LEGO Friends line, Tanya's Workshop. It's okay, but it's one of those games where they try to make LEGO badass somehow, and that just feels wrong to me. It's a fine game, really, but honestly, I think you're better off playing Jack X. My favorite LEGO racing game, and probably my favorite LEGO game of all, is LEGO Racers 2. The first Racers game is swell, but I just find so much more to enjoy in this one. I mean, there's still a lot of things the first game had that this didn't. The items are more basic, the frame rate isn't as good, and there aren't as many environments. Still, I just think this game is better. While there aren't as many environments, they're much more expansive. There are more racetracks in each one, and they're laid out like street races. There's no invisible walls or whatever keeping you confined to the track, and bottomless pits and the like are quite rare. You don't even have to stay in the lines all the time, just don't miss any checkpoints and you'll be fine. While some games like Star Wars Racer and Jack X occasionally have some tracks cross a few of the same places, I haven't played many racing games that handle the race courses the way this game does. In fact, that's what they are, courses, not tracks. Too often, even in the original LEGO Racers game, everything around you feels so artificial because it's all so perfectly built in the shape of a track. It's all so convenient. And yeah, that's typical fare for a racing game. And I'm not trying to say it takes so much more thought to create courses like these in the same locations, but it does make this a pretty unique racing game, and less of what inevitably felt kinda like a Mario Kart clone at times. When you're not racing, you can explore these worlds that are so much more polished and full of stuff than in the first game. There's just a lot going on in them. They aren't nearly as empty as the worlds in LEGO Island and even LEGO Island 2 tended to be. They're so populated and diverse. I thought it was so cool to see a T-Rex or a giant robot stomping across the course as a kid. You even get a new assortment of pieces for building other cars in each world. Anyway, I understand if this game isn't for everybody and isn't as straightforward as the previous game, but I just think there's more meat to it. I know there are other games like this out there, but this one stands out to me because, well, hey, Legos! If there's anything I can think of to complain about, it's the actual building process and balance issues. You can only put so many pieces on a car before that pesky counter runs out, and I can't count all the times I spent like 10 minutes making the coolest car I could, only to not be able to use that last piece I was going to finish it with. Yeah, you guys who have played this game know exactly what I'm talking about. I guess that's just a nitpick though. Gameplay wise, basically you upgrade your car's speed, handling, and the like by performing side quests for NPCs on the various worlds. They're mostly simple fetch quests and the like, nothing too crazy. But when I first played this game, I didn't go for any of the side quests right off the bat, I just kept racing like an idiot. Eventually I got to race Sam Sinister in the second world. He's the first of a few boss characters, and he's the fastest racer you've come across up to that point. And this is where the game gets almost impossibly hard. Sam's base stats are much higher than yours, and even if you accelerate faster than him, it won't be long before he blows past you. You have to constantly stay glued to this guy, and if he's in the lead for more than a few seconds, the race is basically over. Before long he'll be too far out of reach, and then there's nothing you can do but lag further and further behind as the race goes on. Maybe if you somehow manage to completely destroy his car, or are somehow lucky enough to be able to boost every time you get an item, you might stand a chance. Your best bet is to cheat and run him off the road early on. If he misses a checkpoint, he'll just blindly keep on going, putting him an entire lap behind you. The whole race is only 2 laps, so you should be able to finish the race before he catches up. But you don't have to do any of that, because as soon as you upgrade your speed once, maybe twice, the situation is reversed. Yeah, after completing a few side quests, you outclass all of the other racers in the game, and this suddenly becomes really easy. It's at this point that it becomes apparent that this is a kid's game. That said, I guess I was just a really stupid kid since I ignored the side quests and got through most of the game just roughing it. I'm serious, after losing like 100 times I beat all the races and all the bosses with not but the most essential upgrades which you get automatically. The only part I couldn't get past then was the final boss, Rocket Racer. This is where I reached my limit. Years later, I picked this game up again out of nostalgia, did a few side quests and made it easier for myself this time, finally beating the game. Why am I telling you all this? I don't know, I guess I just felt like sharing some of my own experiences with games like this. We've all done stupid crap like that at some point or played a game the wrong way. The point is, this game was so cool that it kept me coming back no matter how frustrated I was. Overall, it's a swell game, and my personal favorite LEGO game of all. What I love most about it, as was the case with LEGO Island 2, is how it celebrated various LEGO themes, and there just aren't enough games that do that nowadays. Ever since the LEGO Star Wars games were released, there's been much less emphasis on LEGO's own original properties. Aside from a few giants like Ninjago City and even Bionicle in its later years, LEGO doesn't really seem to be as much about LEGO as it is, oh, let's just give this movie a LEGO facelift to make a quick buck because our own themes aren't interesting enough to sell. I mean, I understand why they do it, it makes money, but it just feels like LEGO's own stuff has taken a back seat for the most part. But then there's LEGO City. This is my favorite LEGO game released since the advent of the whole LEGO Star Wars gameplay style, tied with a LEGO movie game. Yes, I like the writing and all that, but one thing about it that surprised me was how the vehicles handled. These are surprisingly realistic driving physics for a game that doesn't exactly make words like realism come to mind. It's almost like they focus on making the game play well instead of selling it on graphics alone, only for the graphics to end up not being that great anyway. Wink wink. With that in mind, I really wish they'd make a new LEGO Racers game with a Chima world and a city world and another space-themed world and all that stuff with these kinds of driving physics. I'm sure they could do it. They're just more comfortable with the games, or rather, the game, that they've been rolling with for nearly a decade. To be honest, I don't even really like this gameplay style that much. It's kind of fun if you have someone else playing with you, but for the most part, these games are slow and stiff, and there's only so much you can do with this formula. As much as LEGO tries to change things up a bit with each new one, even the LEGO movie game just feels kinda samey to me. These games are all fine, really. In some ways, they're great. Still, I just felt like giving you guys a look at what it was like back in the day, when LEGO games tended to be a bit more innovative, if not all over the place. Whether or not you think any of these older games can actually be called good by today's standards is up to you. If there's any gaming injustice to be found here, it's, again, the fact that LEGO's own properties have been brushed aside in favor of licensed themes for so many years now. With the buzz created by the LEGO movie and LEGO being bigger than ever now, maybe in the years to come we'll see more games that, you know, are actually about LEGO. But anyway, I've said enough. If you find a copy of LEGO Racers 2 in a bargain bin somewhere, get it. If any of these games interest you, well, just ask around. Maybe you know someone who still has some of them, like an older sibling or one of your friends. You never know. Next, we'll be going back to a time before time. Toodles, and as they love to say in LEGO Racers 2, I'ma catch you by the trummy.